Sorry for the weird light, but I have a different project to work on today. I'm going to work on the chair that I'm sitting in right now. It's blue. It's plastic. It's my husband's aunt's chair. No pressure to get this right. But the last person, you want to talk pressure, the last person who upholstered this chair was my husband's grandfather, who passed away some time ago. No pressure at all. This is, it's just like nostalgia. This is just a piece of history for their family that they want to keep. No pressure. So, they called him Bud. Bud and I are going to have a little conversation, I'm sure, from time to time while I'm working on this, because I have a sneaking suspicion. Now, I haven't removed any of this lovely blue plastic fabric yet. Let me see if I can show you. Like, the light gets really bright, but it's like a baby blue plastic. I haven't removed any of it yet, but from feeling around, I have a sneaking suspicion that this was like gift wrapped around this. I think there's wood here on the top. I think this is a panel chair. I don't know if there's something going on underneath there. And the actual seat has probably seen better days. It's still pretty sturdy. I mean, it's not falling apart, but it's loose in places. We're gonna have to deal with that situation. I'm hoping there's not a whole lot more situations that I need to deal with on this chair, because I do want to do it right. Now, she said she didn't care what fabric I picked. It goes in her spare bedroom. Didn't care about the fabric. Doesn't care if I paint it. Doesn't care if I doesn't care. Just wants to keep it, make it nice. Doesn't want it to be blue anymore. So that's even more pressure, because then it's all on me to pick a style for her room, to decide whether or not it should be painted or if it should just get a little bit of love. And I'm leaning towards maybe just a little bit of gel stain to kind of give the arms, because the arms are wood, and I'll show you in a minute everything, but the arms are wood, the legs are wood. So it's just the seat back and the chair that really need to be reupholstered. And I think I found a good piece of fabric that I'm going to be using that matches her style, matches her spare room that she wants the chair to go into, and hopefully she likes it. But let's take a peek at what's underneath here, because I think that Bud did a little reupholstery magic here and wrapped this thing like a present. I don't think it was a full-on upholstery job, so we're gonna see. You stick with me. Let's pull this sucker apart. So as you can see, he's used like upholstery tacks, and this is just a solid piece of plastic vinyl over what I think is wood underneath here. So gonna be interesting. I'll put you on time lapse. I got all the plastic off. It was red velvet at one time, and that coincides with what my husband's aunt remembered on this chair. She didn't remember exactly what it looked like, but she thought at one time it had been red velvet. It's sort of like a burgundy velvet. Just a couple little pieces of it left. And it doesn't look like what he did was far off the mark. I really wish I knew what this chair looked like to begin with. Because the edges here aren't finished, I think it did probably have fabric that wrapped around it. I don't know that it is the way he did the upholstery. I'm guessing not. I may do what Bud did on this chair. I mean, it wasn't bad, but a little better. I think I want to pad out the back more, definitely the top more. Definitely the seat, y'all. Seat needs a little help. It's not exactly comfortable to sit on. There is some structural repairs that need to be made. As I was pulling it apart, I could see there are some joints that have come loose. I'm gonna have to deal with those. There are screws here holding the arms on. So here and here, down here holding the arms on. There's a screw here and here holding the back piece on. And there are screws underneath, block corners, and then screws that are hidden with these little wood inserts. There are screws underneath there, and no, that's not a screw, that's a mark. But I'm gonna probably end up pulling all the screws out and just these little blocks. The little wood beads that they put in here to cover them up. They are flathead screws. I would estimate this piece, oh man, I think it's older than I initially thought. The joint here has come undone from being dry. So you can see it's pulling apart right here, which, I don't know, let me get you closer, hang on. Okay, so right there, the joint has come undone. We're gonna try, that's from just the wood drying out, and then it's twisted a little bit and pulled apart. But let's see if we can find, there was another joint here. So you can see daylight through there. We're gonna fix that up right there. And that one looks pretty tight on that side. That's just a little, that I can live with. That doesn't look too bad. This was cracked back here, but it's not all the way out. So we may have to do a little gluing there. But otherwise, those joints look good. And then this one here, you can see has come undone a little bit as well. So we will try and get that banged back together. Bang it back together. And that one looks over. No, that's gonna have to, I'll have to get a dead bowl hammer on that and get that back together. We'll get some glue in there. We'll make sure she's all shored up, and then we'll go from there. So let's get some repairs done. Okay, so I've got everything off, as you can see, and I've got a little bit of gel stain in black because I know that Jeff's aunt likes dark furniture. So I'm gonna take this up to a darker level than it was, just because I think it's gonna look prettier with the fabric that I picked out. Otherwise, this wood is really gonna match the fabric too much. So I would like the trim to be just a little bit darker. So I've got the gel stain. I sanded it down and I did a little test patch here. You can kind of see it, and it looks gorgeous. Looks really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use a brush and do the whole rest of it, and you guys get to watch. Hi YouTube. I'm back with the chair. That's Miko. He's not supposed to be sitting there. Are you supposed to be sitting there? So, I dry fitted the fabric on here, and I tapped the seat down because I wanted to test some stuff, but anyway, that's beside the point. What I'm going to show you today is I'm going to do the fitting for the back. So I've never taken an upholstery class before. I'm self-taught. I taught myself with a book. It's a really good book though. I can put a link in the description below just so you can see it. So everything I learned about upholstery I've learned from this book. I like having a book because then it's specific to the chair that I have, and I can have it open while I'm working on the chair. But this is one of the things that I've learned is like fitting fabric around these arms. If you remember, there's these two pieces in here that I'm gonna have to fit the fabric around, and this is the most challenging part for me because if you cut it wrong, I'm out of fabric. You know what I mean? I buy enough fabric for the piece. So this is the fabric that I chose. If you remember that video, I went with my dad to SR Harris. I'll put a link in the cards to that video, but we went to the fabric warehouse, and this was the one that I found, and I really, really like it for her because she likes, Judy likes browns and neutrals, and the room is gray, and this does have sort of this gray beige in it, and the darker blacks. It'll work. It'll work in that room, I think, and it will work in the rest of her house should she choose to ever move this chair somewhere else. So what you do, I'm going to just show you on this scrap piece of fabric, because when I'm doing it, it's going to be really hard to show you what happens. It's easier for me to show you here. So let's say that this part right here is where I need to get it to go around the arm of the chair. So you fold it back like this so you know where to cut. So let's say the arm's right here. I'm gonna cut right here, and you're gonna cut a Y. And let me show you what that looks like. So you've got it folded back, and you cut a long strip and then a Y. And the reason that you do that is because this is the part that's gonna go around the arm, and this is gonna get folded under so you never see it. So he knew it was time for him to go if I'm gonna be working with the fabric. But this would now fit around the arm of the chair, and then this gets folded under this little part here, so you've got that nice clean edge. And I'm not going to be able to show you that while I'm working on this. I can show you after what the clean edge looks like if I do it right. Not an upholstery, y'all. I really am not. I mean, I do some light upholstery. I've never done like a full chair. It intimidates the heck out of me. So this intimidates the heck out of me too because it's not mine. If it was mine and I had a little fudge here and there, I wouldn't care so much, but since it's my husband's aunt, it is sort of like a heritage piece of furniture that they want to keep because it reminds her of her mom and dad. There's a lot more pressure for me. I'm putting it on myself. She's not putting it on me. She's very relaxed about this. She's not concerned in the least bit. I'm concerned the least bit. I have perfectionist tendencies. So if I mess this up, I don't have extra fabric. This is a tiny little strip of fabric. Y'all, it's not enough to make a new back. I successfully dry fitted the seat yesterday. Then I cut around the arms there. You can see what it looks like now with the, you can see why I darkened it. This would have just blended right in. I did tack the front in one place, tack the back in one place, just so when I was dry fitting it, dry fitting the fabric, I didn't shift the design because I want this to stay straight as possible, these lines. So I didn't want it to move while I was cutting. So I did do one tack on the front, one tack on the back, and one tack on each side to keep that from jostling. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get after that back now. As you can see, I've draped it. I have put extra batting in here, extra batting in the back. I actually wrapped the entire back in batting, and I can show you that while I'm pulling this thing apart to do it. But I took batting and I wrapped the whole back, so it's gonna give it a slightly different look than what she first had, because the upper part was very clear. You could see that sort of hoop that was on the back, and then those pointy corners. I've wrapped all of that in batting, so it's gonna have more of a softer feel. You won't just like, there's this giant piece of wood there. There's now batting around the wood, and I think that originally that's what it would have been. I don't know of any chair that puts fabric directly on the wood. I could be wrong, but I think there should have been at one time batting there. So that's what I did to make it more what I think is appropriate, and it'll just give it more of a softer shape. So it'll be slightly different than what she had. Let's face it, the whole chair is gonna be different from what she had. It's not plastic anymore, it's not baby blue, and it's not light wood. So kind of not even gonna look like the same chair. Aside from the style, the arms are the only thing that's gonna look like the same chair. And even those will be a different color. So anyway, that's how you do the fitting the fabric around the arms. I'm just gonna get after it and pray. So, this would have been done last night, but I had a problem. I've never used these before. These upholstery tacks. I don't love them. This is what's happening. So this wood is extremely hard. I want to drill a pilot hole. Don't have my drill bit in it yet, but that's what I want to do. But I'm afraid that's gonna snag and pull the fabric on this, and that would not be good. So I got an awl. It's the smallest one we had. I'm gonna try punching a hole first to see if that's good enough. Otherwise, I also have this. This is a screwdriver that broke and was sharpened to a point by the OG, the old guy. So that was one of Dad's handy little tools that he created. Must have needed an awl and didn't have one. See, he's resourceful. That's why I do what I do, because he's resourceful. So hopefully one of these two will do the trick, and I'll be able to get these in without damaging them. I mean, you know, a hot mess. I was so frustrated last night. I was ready to toss this thing out the window. The reason why I have to do where I'm doing the back like this, similar to what they had on it, was because when Bud did the chair, he did so many holes in this thing that, and quite frankly, this is similar. When I pulled the fabric off, the blue fabric off, and I found the red piece was still in the corner, it is actually similar to what they did originally. It was folded like a present in the corners up here, and then draped down the back. But I don't know, they had a better way of attaching this. I don't know. I don't know if this was exactly right with these. I'm not good at these, because you gotta put them in a straight line, and I'm glad this is gonna face the wall. They're not straight. They are not straight. Honey, they are not straight. Do my best, y'all, with these things. I seriously had never used them before, and I don't think I'll ever use them again. They just kept bending, and I don't love it. I don't want to be frustrated. I'd rather do it my way. And this is a little bulky in there. There's a few issues here and there on the chair that I should call call and start lowering her expectations now. It does look 100% better than it did, which you guys can't see because of the sunlight coming in. Oh. Well, I'll show you later, but it does look better. The front looks good. The back's a hot mess. There's some places here that, because I have to pull it around the back, and that's what these are for, still look a little loose, but otherwise it looks really good. So it'll be a cute chair in her space. It'll just be, I'm gonna try the awl. I'm gonna punch the hole with the awl because I think that's gonna be my most successful route, and if that doesn't work, I have to go with the pilot hole. And if it starts to snag the fabric, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Honestly, glue it? It might be a glue situation. If worse comes to worse, you always have to have plan B. Life's all about plan B. Worst comes to worse, I will take all these off, staple the back, and get some trim, some upholstery trim, and trim it out. Hopefully I can find something that will look good with this. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, is I'd have to cover all the staples, because that's gonna be my only alternative if I can't get this to work. But let's go with positive thinking and that the awl is gonna work. It's just slightly big. Lord, please, just cut me some slack. Cut me some slack on this chair. And then I do need to touch up some of the stain. Oh, look at the sun came out. It's been snowing here. I'm sorry, the rays are coming in, but I love it. I'm gonna have to filter that crap out of there. Okay. Ignore the fact that my vacuum is sitting out. I tried to clean up the last night. And the fact that you see my messy dining room. I'm getting ready for junk bonanza. So that room is a hot, hot mess. It is loaded with crap. I mean, I'm not kidding. That'll be a different video. See me preparing for junk bonanza, but I will have to fix the stain in some places where when I was flipping it around, I dinged it. I was getting so frustrated last night. And then I dinged it with a hammer. I'm like, oh my God. So I do have to touch up some of the stain. I was not playing nice with it. I was being a little rough, but yeah, so that's where we're at. Let's get after it. There's no other way around it. We're gonna have to just try everything, throw everything at it. Now it's making me mad. Now I'm more determined than ever to punch a hole in it. Let's get this done. Could be better. It's not worse. It's certainly not worse. Listen, it doesn't creak. It's all jointed up real nice. It is what it is. I'm not an upholsterer, and those tacks kicked my butt. We're gonna edit myself there. I have none left, and I'm kind of glad because I'm never using them again. There will never be another time on God's green earth that I will ever use those upholstery tacks again. Any hardwood, even with the awl, it was not going in. They were not going in. They got bent. They continued to bend. Oh, frustrating, to say the least. I mean, aside from drilling a pilot hole, and in that case, I would have had to have drilled the pilot holes prior to upholstering. which then how do you see the pilot holes? Because the cotton would all get, the Dacron and the cotton would all get wound up in the drill. So I would love to hear from an upholsterer out there about how you manage these things, because they're nasty, nasty little pieces of metal. I won't ever use them again. I mean, I was using needle nose pliers to hold them. I did an awl. I punched. I mean, you could see it was sticking in the wood, and it was just not working out. So anyway, take a look at how it turned out. It's not perfect, but it's not baby blue anymore, and it's more modern. It's definitely sturdier. I can shake it without hearing crack, crack, crack. It's pretty. I think it's prettier. Clearly the back is what I struggled on with the arms. So the arms were fine. Cutting around the arms, the Y worked perfectly. It was those bloody pins. What I should have done, and if I were to redo the chair and I don't have enough fabric to do it, or I probably would have, I would have pulled all of that tight and stapled it down first, and then pulled the back over, and live and learn. Next time I do a chair like this, and there will be a next time because I'm stubborn, I will do it again. I will do another one, but this particular one, I just don't have the fabric to redo it. And I'm sorry, Judy. I wish it would have been perfect for you, but it's not. Just break into her house one night and steal her chair. That poor woman will be sleeping and she'll wake up and her chair is gone. Like, I just need to get it done. But it is what it is. And thank you for watching, everyone. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, click the link below. Don't forget to click the bell icon. I post twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. DIY tutorials, which sometimes I fail. That's always fun to watch, though. Somebody else failing at what you want to do. So if you're going to do what I wanted to do here, staple it first. And I really honestly don't know what to tell you about those nail head detail. Don't do it. Just don't. And more Junkin video. I lost track of what I was saying. I'm much better at Junkin videos. I promise. But thanks for watching, everyone. Happy Junkin. Bye. Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more Junkin videos.